In life, success is rarely the result of one grand sweeping action. It is not about a single breakthrough, a sudden stroke of luck, or one massive transformation. Instead, it is the product of small disciplines, repeated consistently over time. These seemingly insignificant actions, when done daily, accumulate and compound, leading to remarkable results. The key is understanding that every small discipline carries weight, and no act of self-improvement is ever wasted. The power of small actions. Many people believe that to change their lives, they need to make big, dramatic moves, completely altering their routines, abandoning all bad habits at once, or reinventing themselves overnight. But the truth is, change happens in the tiny decisions we make every single day. Waking up 15 minutes earlier to read, choosing water over soda, doing an extra set of push-ups, taking a few minutes to organize your workspace. These actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they create momentum. Think about a single raindrop. Alone, it does nothing. But when millions of raindrops fall consistently, they carve out canyons, reshape landscapes, and create rivers. Your small disciplines work the same way. They carve out new patterns in your life, reshape your future, and lead you toward greater achievements. The law of compound effect. The concept of small disciplines ties directly into the law of compounding, the idea that small, consistent efforts lead to exponential growth. Just as money invested wisely multiplies over time, the right habits, when repeated daily, lead to extraordinary improvements. Let's take an example. Imagine you decide to read just 10 pages of a book per day. That doesn't seem like much, does it? But over a year, that's 3,650 pages, the equivalent of about 18 to 20 books. Now compare that to someone who says, I'll start reading when I have time, but never does. The difference between the two individuals wouldn't be obvious in a day or a week, but after a year, one person will have the knowledge gained from reading 20 books, while the other will remain in the same place. The same principle applies to physical health. If you commit to 30 minutes of exercise a day, you might not notice significant changes in the first week or even the first month, but over the course of 6 months or a year, your body will transform, your energy will increase, and your overall health will improve. On the other hand, small negative disciplines, the things you neglect, also compound. Skipping workouts once in a while may not seem like a big deal, but when it becomes a habit, it leads to weight gain, fatigue, and health issues. Spending just $5 on coffee every morning might feel harmless, but over a year, that's nearly $2,000 spent. Money that could have been invested, saved, or put to better use. Whether it's success or failure, both are built on small habits. The difference is whether you choose to engage in positive or negative disciplines. Why people ignore small disciplines? If small disciplines are so powerful, why do so many people ignore them? The answer is simple, because they seem too small to matter. If you eat a salad today, you won't suddenly become fit. If you eat a burger, you won't suddenly become unhealthy. The problem is, these choices don't show immediate results. That's why people often think it's just one meal, one day off, one small mistake. It won't make a difference. But that's exactly how bad habits take root. The danger isn't in the single act. It's in the repetition of that act over time. We live in a world of instant gratification where people expect immediate results. When they don't see change right away, they lose motivation. But success doesn't work that way. You must learn to trust the process, to believe that every small action is contributing to a bigger outcome, even when you don't see results immediately. The role of discipline in success. Discipline is often seen as a restriction, something that limits freedom. But in reality, discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the foundation that turns good intentions into real results. Consider an athlete training for the Olympics. They don't wake up one day and suddenly become world-class competitors. Their success is built on years of small, disciplined actions. Waking up early, training even when they don't feel like it, eating the right foods, focusing on recovery, and improving their skills little by little, day by day. The same applies to financial success. Wealthy individuals don't build fortunes overnight. They save, invest, and make smart financial decisions consistently. They understand that financial freedom is not the result of a single paycheck or one lucky investment, but rather a series of disciplined choices made over time. How to start building small disciplines. If you want to make real changes in your life, start by implementing small, manageable disciplines that you can sustain over time. Here's how. Start with one small change. Choose one simple habit to adopt. Maybe it's drinking more water, walking for 10 minutes a day, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for every night. Be consistent, not perfect. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. If you miss a day, don't quit, just get back on track the next day. Track your progress, write down your habits, and track them daily. Seeing your progress will motivate you to keep going. Surround yourself with the right influences. Your environment plays a big role in shaping your habits. Spend time with people who encourage discipline and remove temptations that make it easy to fall into bad habits. Focus on the long term. Remember that small disciplines won't always show results immediately, but over time they will transform your life. In the journey of personal growth, change does not begin with external factors. It does not start with luck, circumstances, or even opportunities. True transformation begins with self-reflection, the ability to look inward, examine one's thoughts, actions, and habits, and recognize where change is needed. It is in this moment of deep introspection that individuals take control of their lives rather than being controlled by circumstances. Too often, people search for answers outside of themselves. They look for success in a new job, a different environment, or the approval of others. They blame external conditions for their failures and believe that if only the world around them changed, they could improve. But real change is never external. It is always internal. The key to transformation is self-awareness, and self-awareness only comes from self-reflection. Why people avoid self-reflection. Despite its power, self-reflection is something many people avoid. Why? Because it is uncomfortable. Looking inward means acknowledging flaws, weaknesses, and mistakes, things that are far easier to ignore. It is easier to blame others, to distract oneself with entertainment, or to bury problems under a busy schedule, than to sit in silence and truly evaluate one's life. Self-reflection requires honesty. It forces people to confront difficult questions. Am I truly living up to my potential? Are my daily habits leading me toward the life I want? Am I making excuses instead of taking responsibility? What beliefs are holding me back from success? These questions are not always easy to answer. They force individuals to acknowledge patterns of self-sabotage, procrastination, and negative thinking. But as uncomfortable as self-reflection may be, it is the first and most necessary step toward transformation. Self-reflection creates self-awareness. One of the greatest benefits of self-reflection is self-awareness. Many people move through life on autopilot, unaware of how their habits, thoughts, and decisions are shaping their future. They wonder why they are stuck, but they never take the time to analyze their actions. Self-awareness brings clarity. It allows individuals to understand why they react the way they do in certain situations, what truly motivates them and what drains them, how their past experiences have shaped their current mindset, which habits are serving them and which ones are holding them back. Without self-awareness, people repeat the same mistakes over and over, never understanding why they fail to make progress. They fall into the same toxic relationships, struggle with the same bad habits, and blame external forces without realizing that the root of the problem lies within themselves. Self-reflection is what separates those who grow from those who remain stagnant. It is what allows a person to recognize patterns, adjust course, and take control of their destiny. The role of self-reflection in breaking bad habits. Bad habits do not form overnight, and they do not disappear overnight either. They are the result of repeated choices, often made without conscious awareness. Many people do not even realize why they engage in certain behaviors, why they procrastinate, why they react with anger, why they turn to distractions instead of facing challenges. Self-reflection helps uncover these hidden motivations. It forces individuals to ask, what triggers this bad habit? What emotions am I trying to avoid when I engage in it? What belief system is allowing me to justify it? For example, someone struggling with procrastination might assume they simply lack discipline. But through self-reflection, they may discover that their procrastination is actually rooted in fear of failure. They avoid taking action because deep down, they are afraid of not being good enough. Understanding this changes everything. It shifts the focus from simply trying harder to addressing the underlying fear. People understand the reasons behind their behaviors. They can begin to change them at the source rather than just treating the symptoms. Self. Reflection strengthens decision-making. In life, the quality of one's decisions determines the quality of their future. Poor decisions made without thought lead to regret. Wise decisions made with reflection lead to success. Self-reflection allows individuals to analyze past choices and recognize where they went wrong and where they went right. It helps them see which decisions led to growth and which led to setbacks, where they acted on impulse instead of logic, how emotions influenced their judgment. By looking back on past decisions, individuals become better equipped to make smarter, more intentional choices in the future. Here are a few ways to make it a daily habit. Set aside quiet time. Self-reflection cannot happen in a noisy, distracted environment. Take at least 10-15 minutes a day to sit in silence, away from screens and interruptions, to think deeply about your actions, thoughts, and goals. Ask yourself the right questions. Reflection is most powerful when guided by specific questions. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What could I have done better? What is one thing I learned about myself today? What is holding me back from my goals?
Keep a journal. Writing down thoughts helps clarify them. Keeping a journal allows you to track patterns, recognize growth, and identify recurring challenges, analyze your reactions, pay attention to your emotional responses throughout the day. When you feel anger, frustration, or sadness, ask yourself why. What triggered the emotion? What belief or assumption caused it? This practice reveals a lot about one's inner world. Seek feedback from others. Sometimes self-reflection can be difficult because people have blind spots. Asking for honest feedback from mentors, friends, or coaches can provide valuable insights into behaviors and mindsets that need to change. Learn from mistakes without self-judgment. The goal of self-reflection is growth, not guilt. Be honest with yourself, but do not fall into the trap of self-criticism. Instead of saying, I failed, reframe it as, I learned.
Life is not just about what you do, it is also about who you do it with. The people you surround yourself with play a critical role in shaping your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your future. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly absorbing the energy, attitudes, and behaviors of those around you. If you spend time with motivated, disciplined, and positive individuals, their influence will push you toward growth. But if you are constantly surrounded by negativity, laziness, and excuses, their mindset will inevitably become your own. The truth is simple. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to elevate your life, you must elevate your environment. The people in your circle either lift you up or pull you down. There is no middle ground. The power of influence is subtle but powerful. People often believe they are independent thinkers, making decisions based on their own willpower and logic, but in reality, much of human behavior is shaped by social conditioning. The conversations you engage in, the standards you accept, the goals you pursue, these are all deeply influenced by the people around you. If you spend time with individuals who constantly complain, make excuses, and avoid responsibility, you will eventually start adopting the same mentality. Even if you have a strong work ethic, their mindset will slowly wear you down. Their negative perspective on life will become the lens through which you see the world. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with ambitious, disciplined, and positive individuals, their habits will inspire you to aim higher. You will start thinking bigger, pushing harder, and expecting more from yourself. Their presence alone will challenge you to grow. Negative influences that hold you back To create the right environment, you must first identify and eliminate the negative influences in your life. These influences come in many forms, and sometimes they are not easy to recognize because they can be disguised as friendships, traditions, or even cultural norms. Here are a few of the most common negative influences. The complainers. These are the people who always focus on what is wrong instead of what is possible. They blame others, dwell on problems, and find excuses for why success is out of reach. If you listen to them long enough, you will start believing that life is unfair and that there is no point in trying. The unmotivated. These individuals lack drive and ambition. They are content with mediocrity and have no interest in improving themselves. If you spend too much time around them, their lack of urgency and purpose will dull your own ambitions. The negative thinkers. Some people see obstacles in every opportunity. They believe the world is against them, that success is only for the lucky, and that failure is inevitable. Being around constant negativity will make you question your own goals and dreams. The enablers. These are people who encourage bad habits. They might pressure you into making poor financial decisions, skipping workouts, or engaging in self-destructive behaviors. Their influence makes it harder for you to stay on track. The dream killers. Some people do not want you to succeed because it reminds them of their own failures. They will downplay your achievements, dismiss your goals as unrealistic, and discourage you from taking action. Their words can plant seeds of doubt, making you second-guess yourself. If you recognize any of these influences in your life, it is time to distance yourself from them. This does not mean you have to cut people off completely, but you must be intentional about how much energy you invest in them, how to surround yourself with the right people. Once you remove negative influences, you must actively seek out people who will elevate you. Success is not just about working hard. It is also about creating an environment that nurtures growth. Here's how you can do it. Find mentors and role models. One of the best ways to elevate your mindset is to learn from those who have already achieved what you aspire to do. Find successful individuals in your field. Read their books, watch their interviews, and absorb their wisdom. In a growth-oriented communities, whether it's a mastermind group, a networking event, or an online forum, surrounding yourself with people who are committed to self-improvement will push you to be better. The energy of an ambitious community is contagious. Seek out friends who challenge you. Look for people who inspire you to grow. These are friends who set high standards, push you out of your comfort zone, and hold you accountable. They do not let you settle for less than your potential. Limit time with negative people. While it is not always possible to completely remove negative influences, especially if they are family members or coworkers, you can control how much time and energy you give them. Set boundaries, and do not let their negativity dictate your mindset. Invest in personal development. If you cannot immediately find the right influences in your life, start by immersing yourself in books, podcasts, and courses that challenge your thinking. Even if you do not have a strong circle yet, learning from successful people through their content can shift your mindset. Lead by example. Sometimes the best way to improve your environment is to be the one who raises the standard. Instead of waiting for the right influences to appear, be the person who sets the tone for excellence. When you commit to discipline, positivity, and ambition, you will naturally attract like-minded individuals. The ripple effect of positive influence surrounding yourself with the right influences does not just change your life. It creates a ripple effect that impacts those around you. When you elevate your mindset, others take notice. Your discipline inspires those in your circle to be more disciplined. Your ambition challenges them to dream bigger. Your positivity becomes a source of motivation for others. This is why leaders are intentional about their environment. They understand that influence flows both ways. You are influenced by the people around you, and you also influence them. By surrounding yourself with driven, motivated, and successful individuals, you create an ecosystem where growth is the norm. Every great achiever, from world-class athletes to top business leaders, understands this principle. They do not leave their environment to chance. They curate their inner circle carefully, ensuring that they are constantly exposed to high standards, big thinking, and relentless drive. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has goals, but not everyone achieves them. Why? It is not a lack of talent, intelligence, or even opportunity that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. It is discipline. Discipline is the invisible bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Without it, even the greatest ambitions remain just that, ambitions. But with it, even the most difficult dreams become reality. The problem is most people admire success, but do not want to commit to the process. They want the rewards without the sacrifice, the results without the effort. But success has a price, and discipline is the currency that pays for it. No one achieves anything meaningful by accident. Behind every great accomplishment, behind every story of triumph, there is discipline. Consistent effort applied over time, even when it is difficult, even when motivation fades, even when no one is watching. Why discipline matters more than motivation. One of the biggest misconceptions people have is that they need to feel motivated in order to take action. They believe that successful people wake up every day full of energy, excitement, and inspiration, but that is not true. Even the most disciplined individuals have days when they do not feel like working out, putting in the extra hours, or staying focused on their goals. The difference is they do it anyway. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. It is easy to feel motivated after watching an inspiring video, reading a book, or hearing a success story, but that motivation fades when the real work begins. Discipline, on the other hand, is permanent. It does not depend on how you feel. It does not waver with circumstances. It is the ability to take action regardless of emotions, fatigue, or setbacks. A person who relies only on motivation will be inconsistent. They will start strong but struggle to keep going when challenges arise. But a person who develops discipline will keep pushing forward even on the days when they do not feel like it. And that is what separates winners from everyone else. The role of small daily habits. Discipline is not built in a day. It is not something that happens overnight. It is the result of small, consistent choices made over time. Every time you wake up early instead of hitting snooze, every time you choose to work on your goals instead of watching TV, every time you push through discomfort instead of giving up, you are strengthening your discipline. People often look at successful individuals and see the big achievements, the championship titles, the thriving businesses, the financial success. What they do not see is the daily discipline that led to those achievements. They do not see the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, and the moments of struggle. Success is built on habits, not grand gestures. It is not about doing something extraordinary once. It is about doing the right things consistently. The person who works out for 30 minutes every day will be in better shape than the person who goes to the gym for 3 hours once a month. The entrepreneur who works on their business daily will be more successful than the one who waits for the perfect time to start. The writer who writes 500 words a day will finish their book long before the one who only writes when they feel inspired. How to build discipline. If discipline is the key to success, then the next question is, how do you build it? How do you train yourself to take action even when it is difficult? Here are a few key principles. Start small. Many people fail to build discipline because they try to change too much at once. They set unrealistic goals, get overwhelmed, and then give up. The key is to start with small, manageable actions. Instead of trying to wake up at 5 a.m. immediately, try waking up 15 minutes earlier each day. Instead of overhauling your entire diet overnight, start by making one healthy choice at each meal. Small wins create momentum. Remove temptations. Discipline is not just about willpower. It is also about creating an environment that makes success easier. If you are trying to eat healthier, do not keep junk food in the house. If you want to be more productive, remove distractions from your workspace. The fewer temptations you have to fight, the easier it becomes to stay disciplined, develop a routine. One of the best ways to build discipline is to create structured routine. When you have a set schedule, discipline becomes automatic. For example, if you decide that every morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. is your workout time, it eliminates the need to feel like it. It just becomes part of your day, like brushing your teeth. Commit to non-negotiables. Successful people have certain habits that they do not compromise on, no matter what. These are their non-negotiables. Things they do every single day, regardless of circumstances. Whether it is exercising, reading, or working on a skill, having daily non-negotiables trains your mind to stay disciplined. Hold yourself accountable. Discipline is easier when there is a system of accountability. This could mean having a mentor, a coach, or a friend who checks in on your progress. It could also mean tracking your own progress in a journal or planner. When you measure your consistency, you are more likely to stay on track. Push through resistance. There will be days when you do not feel like following through on your commitments. These are the most important moments to push forward. Every time you overcome resistance, you strengthen your discipline. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes second nature. Embrace discomfort. Many people avoid discipline because it requires discomfort. But growth only happens outside of your comfort zone. The more you embrace discomfort, the stronger you become. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, see them as opportunities to build discipline in different areas of life. Discipline is not just about work or fitness. It applies to every area of life. In health, discipline means choosing healthy foods over junk food, exercising regularly, and prioritizing rest. In finances, discipline means saving instead of spending recklessly, investing wisely, and avoiding unnecessary debt. In relationships, discipline means putting in the effort to communicate, listen, and show appreciation even when life gets busy. In personal development, discipline means reading, learning, and improving yourself. Even when you feel comfortable where you are, every area of life improves with discipline. It is the foundation for success, happiness, and long-term fulfillment. Those who develop it unlock their full potential, while those who lack it remain trapped in cycles of unfulfilled potential and regret.